Thank you folks for being here. I'm here because I love America. And I'm here because I'm angry. I love America. Let me talk to you for just a second about somebody else that loved America. He was a patriot. His name was Patrick Henry. Patrick Henry loved America, and he wanted to be free from the tyranny of Great Britain, of England. And he fought alongside fellow patriots for that freedom. And he came to be a delegate from Virginia as the Constitution was being considered and debated. And you may not know this, but Patrick Henry went throughout Virginia talking against the Constitution that was being proposed. Why would a patriot have been against the Constitution? He was against it because the individual liberties of Americans were not expressly provided within the Constitution. And it was through his efforts and efforts of other patriots like him that the Bill of Rights came into being. Without the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, the divinely inspired Constitution of the United States, would not have ever been passed. We've heard my good friends before me talk today. Mike Pitts talked about the Constitution eloquently and the Bill of Rights. Those Bill of Rights, they aren't bills, it's not a bill of suggestions. It's a Bill of Rights. They are rights that every American has and every American is afforded. How do we keep those rights? It's through the Second Amendment. We maintain our rights through the Second Amendment. I said I was mad. Let me show you one reason why I'm mad. You see this? This is a bill pending in Congress. This is Senate Bill 150, authored by Ms. Dianne Feinstein. It's got 20 co-sponsors.
She's got a CWP! That's right! She's all right.
Well,
and the security detail! That's right!
Y'all come up here and talk. I love it. Let me tell you about some of our co-sponsors. Schumer, Rockefeller, Reed. That's just a few. Now, what does this thing do? 132 pages.
Come on.
What does it do?
40% of the wealth.
Absolutely. It requires the ban of the sale and transfer, importation, and manufacturing of 120 different named rifles, shotguns, and handguns. It bans the sale and importation and manufacturing of all firearms with a detachable magazine and at least one so-called military characteristic. In other words, it looks mean. It bans the sale and transfer and the manufacturing of rounds that hold more than 10, or magazines that hold more than 10 rounds. It forces all owners of so-called grandfathered weapons to undergo background checks and fingerprinting, treating law-abiding citizens like the criminals that we want to protect ourselves from. It forces owners of all of these grandfathered weapons to be federally registered, to register their guns and get a permission slip from the chief law enforcement officer of their area. Ladies and gentlemen, what's happened to our rights? What's happened to our ability to be able to join together in the common defense of our rights? There is an attempt to take it away from us. I had the privilege last year of being invited to speak before the Israeli Knesset. And when I went there, I was toured around, and one of the places I was taken was a public school in Israel. I went on those school grounds, and there were kids playing. They were swinging in the swings and playing on the little merry-go-round and on the monkey bars and having a grand old time. And I look back in the background, standing by the school building, and what do I see? I see school teachers standing there, not with just an AK that I would take into the woods, standing there with a true assault rifle. And I asked, who is that security guard? That's not a security guard. That's this class's teacher. And then I was told that for over, I think they said a dozen years, about a dozen years ago, they had a terrible problem in Israel with terrorists coming into schools and holding children hostage, killing. It was terrible, they said. How did we resolve it? We resolved it by training every single teacher in Israel how to handle a rifle. And do you know how many times that there has been an attack on a school in Israel since then? Not one time. Our forefathers got it. They understood it. They understood what liberty is about. We do understand it. You understand it. We have to make our voices louder. They have to be heard. You've heard my fellow members of the House and the Senate stand up before you and talk about legislation. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't look to the federal government. You can't look to the federal government for the salvation of our rights and liberties. It's here on State House grounds throughout this nation that you find the last line of defense of our liberties. I praise you for being here with us today. But don't make this your only visit. You know, each of us could have been at work today. We could have been at home. I had to postpone clients back in my office in order to be here today. You had to do the same kind of thing. Don't let this be the only time that you show up here. Let your voices be heard and protect our liberties. Ladies and gentlemen, I woke up this past week and went online to check my local news, and I found something rather surprising. There was a cartoon of me holding an AK, standing on these State House steps, and the caption read, "Off to the State House." I want to ask Joe Luizzi to come up here. Joe called me after that. He is the local newspaper cartoonist in Myrtle Beach. And Joe said, "Alan, I'm going to the rally. I want to go with you. And I got something I want to give you when I get there. And I might even have a sentence I want to say to everybody." So Joe, thank you so much for being here, and thank you for supporting gun rights in South Carolina.
I told my friends that I was going to drive up from the Grand Strand to do this, and they said, "You must be nutty as a fruitcake."
Yes, they are.
I said, "Listen, anytime that I know of an elected official like Alan Clemmons, who has the courage and the integrity to stare down and face down the tyranny that's going on in Washington now, I get excited and I want to be there. That's why I'm here. And I'm really honored to present this cartoon to you. It's kind of hard to see, but I'll just describe a little bit first. There he is with the, yeah, right. But there are a couple of guys down in the corner, and they said, he looks a little like Ted Nugent. But he described the rest of it for me, and I thank him so much. I want to present this to you.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you so much. Thank you, Joe. And thank you all for being here today. I just want to leave you with these final words. Ladies and gentlemen, It's the right of the people to keep and bear arms, and that right shall not be infringed. And you are the guardians of that right. Do not let it be infringed. Thank you very much.